And now we're going to continue where we last left off with the first part of this video, which is the Okubo and Hiramashima interview. And if you haven't seen that, then I'm going to link you the link down below where you can check that out, as this is the second part of the interview where we're going to be talking about that. So we're going to be starting off straight away, and he's going, Sensei, you are both too serious about this. The talk isn't about publishing in a gaming magazine. Please return to the topic about your works. As we were talking in the last part, they started rambling about games for a very long time. And like, Okubo just starts, okay, and he's laughing. Every week I would leave a free day for any work and to use it to rest. And like, what about you, Mashima Sensei? And like, if I want to, I could do that as well. However, I would get really uncomfortable if I don't draw for even a single day. So like that, like a lot of mangas like really work pretty much round the clock, but he's saying like, if I at least don't put a couple of hours into drawing something, then that's probably a way like why he does his little Twitter little pictures as well. Like he's like, I feel uncomfortable if I'm not doing anything at all with the series, and he's being like, and Okubo answers this and saying, you've been constantly showing off your drawings on Twitter, and Mashima says, if I don't do that, my drawing skills would degrade. Okubo, yes, for me, my working condition on the first day of the works is a bit strange. Can it be that I'm too lazy to deal with the manuscript as he laughs? Mashima, my first day of work for the week is my happiest day, and then I slowly get tired and annoyed after that, as he laughs. During the phase after finishing the manuscript, I start thinking of the next chapter's names. Names are rough storyboard drawings. Last, does Okubo-sensei start drawing page by page from page 1? Okubo, yes. What about Mashima-sensei? I started drawing the chapter from the page that I want to draw the most, as he laughs. However, I've had a change of thought of my process recently. As to not let myself become annoyed and tired at drawing, I would sometimes leave the thing that I want to draw at the very end, such as hentai scenes. I'm kidding, as he laughs. I would leave scenes such as where Natsu is the most active for the last to draw. So he's kind of like saying like he wants to get the bothersome stuff out of the way first, and then he wants to draw the stuff he's really looking forward to, which is like, if you keep drawing throughout the week, like as long as it takes and all that, like you're really gonna not have as much motivation to draw if you've got like the scene where it's like, oh, it's this one scene where a bunch of characters are talking and I have no interest in that. So it's kind of interesting, like if you think about it, but it's like, you know, like even like Okubo's like, it replies with, I get you, exciting things are really important after all. Manga really has to be drawn while being in a happy mindset, as he laughs. Which is like to think like, you know, you can draw in different kind of mindsets, like it depends what kind of like emotion you're going for, but you can clearly see like with like when they have really well designed and really well detailed like parts of like the manga, you can clearly see where they're the most serious. Like if you see like Shinra doing an awesome technique like in the series, whereas I've seen a bunch of them, you can clearly see that's where all the passion of the drawing went. Or like Hiramashima, when you see like a transformation or you see someone fighting, that's where all his excitement went from that week into that day. And then the interview says, it's about time for this, end this, and finally please talk about the scenes that the two of you want to see in each other's respective works. A showcase of all the brigades of the Special 5 Brigades and more characters. I really anticipate the wider world view beyond the circle of the 5 Brigades. Also, one important thing, so I need to repeat myself, please let Tamaki join Shinra's 8th Brigade, as he laughs. I feel like that maybe something in the event of the manga might like happen like that recently, but it's like, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But I just imagine like Hiramashima just getting on his knees going, please just let her join and go from there. Okubo, looking forward to it. You won't be disappointed, lass. For me, I want to see cute girls doing cute things in Fairy Tail. I also pay attention to the climax parts in Fairy Tail. Don't worry, I want to see more scenes of Natsu being active, no matter in combat scenes or story progression scenes. There must be more to Natsu's super impressive hidden techniques. Mashima, maybe he might use it in the future. What I could say is Fairy Tail is a series that's been serializing for a very long time, so I must give everybody an acceptable ending to it. A bad ending happening is something that will never happen. That's all I have to say for it now. Okubo, wow, so happy. I look forward to along with the other readers. The dream of this talk was realized as Tamaki joins the 8th Brigade in 5 Brigade Flames. Please look forward to her performance in the story. So yeah, that was something that like I was trying to think, is that's actually something that happens in the manga, but like since it's been a while since I read some of it, but it's like there's a point where Tamaki Jeremy does join like the 8th Brigade for a little while, and I'm like, that's hilarious. Like that he clearly did that just the Hiramashima, and Mashima's actually talking about kind of the ending, which means that he's kind of getting to that point where he's like, I think he's already building up kind of like what the plans that he has to like ending it, but he's saying, you know, like he's not going to talk about like a bad ending, like, you know, like it's going to be upsetting. I don't think that's what it means. Like he's not saying like he's not talking about, oh, it's going to be a shit ending. No, he's talking about if it's a bad ending, it's going to be upsetting. One of the things he's talking about is that it's going to be like a happy ending for a lot of the series, and the fact that it's like, you know, he's confirming that Natsu's still got stuff up his, he's still got hidden arsenal up there, like, so he could be talking maybe about E.N.D, or like he could be talking about that E.N.D transformation we've been like wanting for so long, like out there, or he's talking about some new kind of like something up past the Blazing Dragon King mode that he can do something about, or like he can do something else where he can do more modes. Like that's kind of where he's going about that. And pretty much like I feel like Okubo's question, like I feel like Okubo, I would have appreciated a little bit more if he kind of addressed saying like, hey, I really wish that you just go a little bit slower pace with some of these fights a little bit, and then maybe as well like don't rush things too much. Like that's the only thing, if ever I could ask Hiramashima like a question, like as a personal fan like that, I say I absolutely adore your works. I mean, I own all the volumes and I fucking love your stuff. The only thing I've ever had an issue with like Mashima's writing as such and all that is that like a lot of the time a reason why it comes off a little bit too rushed and a bit like characters not that memorable is that if it's a little bit of the rushed writing where it's like, he just does it and it's done, and I don't know really if that's his fault or the editor's fault, so we'll obviously have to wait and see. But like I like that at least Hiromashima's dream comes. I want him reading the magazine and he reads that Fire Brigade chapter and he just like grabs the like magazine cover and he goes, ooh, like he just holds the cover and he's like, ooh, and I want him to like break down like fucking Okubo's front door and he just go and hugs the man. He's like, I love you, bro, I love you, like that, you're the fantastic. So that I wouldn't be surprised if we see some Tamaki sketches sometime soon from like Hiramashima. But there was some good questions from both ends, like definitely talking about the fantasy setting, and like one saying that we are probably never going to see a Fairy Tail or a Fire Brigade like at all live action throughout the series. They were talking about some of their favorite characters, what inspired them, reason exactly why Okubo was in a monthly series in the first place, and finding out that he was working with like he was one of the assistants, the Get Backers, like there was a bunch of majority of stuff that he was doing like in his time. He wasn't just like, oh, I just made Solium back then. No, a lot of artists and all that are originally just art, like they are just like assistants, like the series like Hiramashima started with that. Same thing with like a bunch of people like that, like that just happens. And like even if they stop drawing like manga and all that, some of them become editors as well. Like for a bunch of long time when like Togashi was like on his big breaks, like Togashi was like the editor for Kuroko no Basket when that was first serialized, and he's also done that for a bunch of other series as well, like that. So it's like it's very interesting about that. Like I really enjoyed like the questions that they were asking. I feel like Hiro was a little bit dickish at some of those questions. I feel like he was kind of pointing some stuff out. But I feel like Okubo is like, especially I think he just kind of didn't like, since he has a bit of like quite a bit of respect for the man. Like I think like he just kind of didn't want to address some of that stuff like that. I mean I had a lot of respect to Hiramashima, but it's like still I feel like my respect and my enjoyment for the series won't stop me from like saying something that either bugs me in the series or something I want to address like to the man. Like I don't like suck the guy's balls or anything like that. It's like no, I respect his work and all that. I always will love Brave Master and I always will enjoy Fairy Tail for what they are. I think that's the end of the day. I think it was still a very good interview, and I found some very interesting things about both how Hiro and Okubo think in their drawings, and definitely it's something that's made me a lot more in Fire Brigade. I would definitely say that much. And like Hiro had me lolling with the Tamaki stuff. He had me absolutely dead because like we share the same waifu pretty much into the Fire Brigade. That was hilarious to me. But yeah, on that, yeah, it was a really enjoyable interview. So like there's not too much else I can really address about it. So yeah, honestly I think it was fantastic what they did about it, and talking about their artwork, how they stopped degrading themselves. So like I'm definitely enjoying much more, and I really hope that if they don't do a crossover in the future, I really hope they do another interview like this, because I think this is one of the best crossover interviews we've had in a while, I would say. But that's all from me, so thank you much for watching as always. I really hope you enjoyed this interview. The first part will of course be up there as you can see in the annotations, and also as well down in the description down below, so you can watch that. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Savagezweipanda, your host, and I'll see you guys though